Welcome to yet another April Fool's prank, this one for the year 2023. I'm not going to waste a whole lot of time. Let's get right on into the fun. Sound speeds. And if you watch a lot of YouTube, then I'm sure you're familiar with this microphone, the Shure SM7b. Many people believe it's overhyped, yet other people believe that it deserves every bit of the praise it receives. Which one is it? Well, of course, that's up to you to determine. And if you watch a lot of YouTube reviews of this microphone, then many people do the same test over and over again. And if you look down in the comments, there's always one or two people out there that like really weird tests that make no sense. So tell me, why should I do all the standard things that everyone else does? I mean, I could play music, I could play the drums or whatever, but I suck at all those things. What I can do is talk. So I'm just going to talk into this microphone a bunch of different ways and see what the results are. Now, what about the specifications for this microphone? Google it. You need me to do everything for you? Let me just do some audio tests for you. This is what the Shure SM7b sounds like approximately 3 inches away from my mouth and on axis. And as I start to rotate around, this is slowly going off axis. Right now we're about 45 degrees off. This is approximately 90 degrees off. And now we're slowly approaching the null area, but not quite there yet. We're 270 degrees off, and this is the exact null area. It's picking up a little bit off of the reflection of the monitor right there, but I'm going to continue to rotate around there. It's caught my headphone cable a little bit there. Continuing on around, and now we're completely back on axis. If I speak directly into the microphone, I'm probably going to hit it with a few plosives, and a lot more plosives if I take off the windscreen. If I put the microphone directly on axis to my mouth, but slightly off axis to my breath, this is the way it sounds like with the windscreen. And this is the exact same scenario, but this time without the windscreen. You hear the difference? This is what the microphone would sound like if it's hanging upside down. I'm going to slowly start rotating it in such a way where the actual microphone stays in about the same place. And now it's going to be coming up more from underneath. Does that make a difference in the sound? We're 3 inches off the SM7b, 6 inches off the SM7b, 1 foot off the SM7b, 2 feet off the SM7b, 4 feet off of the SM7b.
And if you plan to do a podcast screaming into a microphone, this is what you can expect it to sound like. Ah!
This is what it sounds like if you side address the Shure SM7b. And if your SM7b for some reason thinks it's a shotgun microphone, then we need to go higher and higher overhead and do one of those tests. This is about even with the top of my head. This is about 6 inches over my head. This is about a foot over my head. This is about 18 inches over my head. This is about 2 feet over my head. This is 3 feet over my head. This is about 4 feet over my head. This is about 5 feet over my head. This is about 6 feet over my head. This is approximately 7 feet over my head. This is approximately 8 feet over my head. This is approximately 9 feet over my head. This is around 10 feet over my head. This is around 11 feet over my head. Approximately 12 feet over my head. Approximately 13 feet overhead. This is approximately 14 feet over my head. This is approximately 15 feet over my head. This is approximately 16 feet over my head. This is approximately 17 feet over my head. And this is approximately 18 feet over my head. And if you want to do the Andre it worth it or not kind of test, where you take a walk out in nature with your SM7b, this is the way it sounds. Maybe what it sounds like if you're talking with an entire mouthful of water. This is what it sounds like if you're speaking through a COVID mask for some reason. This is what it sounds like if you're not wearing chapstick. And this is what it sounds like if you are wearing chapstick. This is what it sounds like if you think you speak out of the back of your head. This is what it sounds like if you're sleep deprived. This is what it sounds like if you speak very slowly into it. And this is what it sounds like if you speak very fast. This here's what it sounds like if you speak with a southern accent. Esto es lo que suena si estás hablando español. This is what it sounds like if you're talking through your hands. This is what it sounds like if you're speaking through a plastic bag. This is what it sounds like if you're wearing a different colored shirt. This is what it sounds like if you're thinking of something orange. This is what it sounds like if you're talking with your eyes closed. This is what it sounds like if you're talking while pinching your nose. This is what it sounds like if you attempt to use it as a lavalier microphone. Maybe that would work if you were Dolly Parton. People want to know how it sounds with rap. Sounds so good makes you want to fap? That is horrible. This is what it sounds like when you realize you're not Eminem. That's the way Banjo likes to talk into these things. This is what it sounds like if you speak into it after you regret a decision you made. This is what it sounds like if you speak into it while you're smiling. This is what it sounds like when you speak into it when you're grumpy. This is what it sounds like when you whisper into it and you want people to have nightmares. This is what it sounds like
if you speak into it while you're breathing inwards.
If you want to speak in a falsetto, this is how it would sound.
If you want to sound like a character, then this is how it would sound. So there you have it, a bunch of microphone tests for people that love to go into the comments of an SM7b review and request them to do additional tests on their review. As if that makes any sense in the world. But again, this video was for you. I hope you feel special. As for my opinion of this microphone, well, I really like it, but personally, I like it better without the windscreen on it. This is my favorite configuration for this microphone. In my opinion, it sounds best on my voice. Thank you for tuning into this episode of SoundSpeeds. Be sure to tune in the future for more microphone tests that you know you really want to hear. And of course, as always, sound advice. Have a question you'd like answered or want to add something? Be sure to write it in the comment section down below. You can also make a suggestion for future topics of discussion. Again, comment section down below, or you can email me at soundspeeds@yahoo.com. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss out on future sound advice.